Hey there, welcome back to my channel. Today I have another collaboration video with Lesley Logan of Profitable Pilates, and today's video is another in the series of my favorite exercises. Today we're going to talk about the Pilates Armchair, also called the baby chair, and I'm going to talk about 3 of my favorite exercises, my current favorites, let's say, and a little bit about how to use the armchair as well. Please become a subscriber if you're not already. You'll never miss a video. If you click the subscribe button and the bell icon, you'll be notified each time a video goes up. And let's just talk about the exercises that are my favorites today. One version of the boxing exercise done at the armchair, and also 2 of the rowing exercises. Rowing 3, which is called from the chest, and also rowing 4, which is called from the hip. And I've chosen those 2 of the rowing exercises in particular. They're all good, and if you've not experienced the rowing exercises done on the armchair, they are quite a revelation. The back of the chair really informs you of what a tall, lifted back position is, so you can then take that to your reformer workout, and you'll have a sense of what goes on your back. But it's a great apparatus. And the best way to use it for yourself, if you're working out alone or also with a client, is to orient the chair so that it faces a mirror. And I have a mirror right in front of me off camera. And it's really, it does many things. First of all, you can see yourself framed by the armchair, and you can see if there's anything that is not symmetrical. You can see what your feet are doing, what your shoulders are doing. And also you can use the positioning of the handles in your hands to correct any imbalances side to side or any kind of things that are not working as well as they could. And when you're teaching someone, often what you're seeing, they can then see as well. Not that they don't believe you, but sometimes if they can see it as well, they can make changes more quickly. And sometimes people get funny about being made to look in the mirror, but they need to, get over that and look at it with a very clinical, correcting eye, and they'll feel the change, and then they won't care as much, I think. So let's talk about how to set yourself up for success on the armchair. I've put the handles here just so that when you're sitting on it, you don't have to reach back to the hanging spot. And the way I like to set it up, often the foot position, you have a couple choices. So I like to use, I guess the standard is bottoms of the feet together, pressing together, and the heels drawn up into the base of the chair, kind of like you're pulling them right up into your center. I like that, and I'll use that for some of the exercises we're doing, but I also like placing my feet about hip width apart, or even just a little bit apart, right on the floor, because the floor can be used as an apparatus as well, and sometimes I feel like when you get to push down, it helps you to lift, since we're in a vertical position. So I'm going to be using that one as well. Also, I'm a little bit different side to side, so having my legs apart really is helpful for me. And the way I like to start on the armchair, I'll hold the handles, and then I'm just going to drop over at the waist. I'm going to pull my stomach in and try to relax my upper body, and then pressing on the floor, I'm going to pull in and roll up, and use your muscles. Try not to be satisfied with skipping any spots. If something doesn't want to go there, suck it in until it happens. And then really concentrate on not lifting your head up prematurely. Really work through the upper back as much as you can. And really make the back of the chair a template for what the back of you should be like. And then take a look at yourself and center yourself. If you see any extra space on one side of you, take the framing from the chair as a guide. I think my chair is a little bit askew, so I'm going to center that up a little bit. And I just wrecked my back. It's not on the chair anymore. Let's do that again. Oh. And really try to get the back of the upper back, the shoulders, press on the floor, suck the stomach in, try to make everything touch the back of the chair. So I feel like everything's framed pretty nicely. My feet are both pointing forward. I'm pushing on the floor and getting a nice lift. And now I'm going to start the boxing. I'm going to make a fist. And when you pull your stomach in, I feel like when I pull my stomach in, I'm imagining that that is what leads right to my fist. So that the shoulder, almost like it's pinned into the chair, it's gonna stay still for this version of the boxing, and I'm gonna box. Stomach in, feet on the floor. And really imagine that the low waistline on each side is what's powering the punch. And just at the risk of giving anyone boxing advice, do make a fist. It is boxing, no long fingers for boxing. And make sure that you don't box with a wrist that's kind of like this. You want to punch with all of the knuckle. As I say, I'm a lover, not a fighter. But make a fist, be tough. And let's do a little bit more. Stomach in, feet on the floor. And do about, 5 sets, 8 sets. Keep monitoring what's touching the chair behind you and make yourself even. Okay, so that's the boxing exercise, and I feel like that's really helpful to convince and cultivate the waistline and the center to punch versus the shoulders and the arms. So it's a nice one to start with. So now I'm going to move on to the rowing 3 from the chest. So you've got the same setup. Now you can have your long fingers. So stomach in, reach forward, and on this one, look at the handles and keep the handles absolutely horizontal. And you may notice that one side is fine doing it and the other side does something weird. That's all good information, and if you just change the way the handle is, you'll feel what happens in the muscles. And then keep that horizontal handle, press on the floor, lift your stomach all the way up, and now lift up and reach out to the side. Pretend that this moment happens on the back of you. And we're going to do 3. So stomach in and reach. And then I like to pretend that my shoulder is being still, and it's really the waistline that increases the distance between my hips and my ribs, and that's what's lifting my arm up, the fact that I'm getting taller. And then reach out to the side. Let's do it one more time. The armchair builds in this fundamental skill of every time the arm goes overhead, increasing the space between the ribs and the hips to make that part of the body learn how to lift. And it really has ramifications throughout the rest of the method. To lift up your arms on the short box, to lift yourself up and over a barrel, to back bend. It really can help you learn all these hard, crazy things in the Pilates method just by doing your armchair regularly. Okay, one more after that commercial for the armchair. Out, down as much as you can, handle horizontal, and then really push and lift your waistline. And imagine your shoulder is stuck to the chair. And then reach out to the side. So now for this next one, we're going to move forward a little bit, and the chair is going to move. So to facilitate bending forward, I'm going to use the other foot position, pressing the bottoms of my feet together. And now I can put my hands here, approximating where they are in the reformer from the hip. I'm just going to start them right on the thigh. I'm going to pull my stomach in so that there's already 2 directions going. Stomach in and arms reaching. I'm going to reach down as far to the floor as I can. And then just like your swan on the barrel, I'm going to lengthen up into one line, and then I'm going to lengthen that whole line back up to control the chair and myself, and then I'm going to finish like the previous one. And so, based on the one that you did before, where you had the contact with the chair and the shoulder had a place to be, now with this one where the chair moves, you're going to imagine that that's all happening. So you can kind of see how it's going. So pull the stomach in, and now as the arm goes further away, keep the shoulders still and lift the waistline. Move the waistline to go to your hands. And now keep feeling like the shoulder's pinned on that imaginary chair behind you, and the waistline is going to lift you up. And then reach. And if you're like me, I am someone who, would do all of my Pilates exercises with my upper body and my shoulders. And I've really tried over the years to beat them into submission, to strengthen other things so that they don't try to do all the work. And the armchair is excellent for that. I mean, one of its main purposes is to foster the center to work instead of the upper body and the limbs. That's why the sprig is so light. And if you're someone who uses the shoulder too much and overuses your upper body, it's a really, really lovely place to kind of change that habit, shall we say. And we're gonna do one more. Stomach in. Imagine the chair behind you. Move your waistline. Lengthen the waistline. Feel like you could lift it all the way up to your hands. And then reach out to the side. So those are my 3 current favorite armchair exercises. The boxing, where you get to stay against the chair, rowing 3 from the chest, and rowing 4 from the hips. They can do so much to further your work in the whole Pilates system. And why don't you let me know what your favorite armchair exercises are? I would love to know. They're all such good ones. It's hard to pick just 3. Please know that just because I didn't pick it doesn't mean I don't adore that exercise. Thank you so much for watching. I'll include the link to Lesley's video in the box below. Have a great day. Bye. And you're going to make your back really tall. And then I'm a big fan of the preparation as well as the exercise. So that you're kind of doing the same thing you did in tree. Maybe that's why I like both of them. One was a little longer coming. So you really want to make sure that, this is not just dropping your leg onto yourself, but you're trying to lift your back, stretch your leg and your back. So now your back